Hi, I'm Christy Schellenberger.
And I'm Jeremy Ray, and this is Last Call for Plastisol. Christy, what'd you think about the episode that we just...
Oh my gosh. Okay, so first off, I miss chatting with you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
It's been, I know you guys haven't seen a blip or anything because we had pre-recorded episodes, but we haven't sat down and chatted like this in over a month because of my wedding and then vacations and life.
Water-based camp and life. And yeah.
So even today I was coming here and I was like, oh, it's been so long. I don't even know if we'll have any flow anymore or anything like that. But once we got going, I was like, oh man, why don't we podcast every week?
All it does is take a couple high noons, vodka sodas, and we're like, we're flowing, y'all.
Yeah.
No. I think the one thing that I regret not saying during this podcast is that, like, you know, we were talking about tequila and we were like, what tequila does, and it makes you angry.
It does.
And there's a song, and I reference it, but it does. Tequila makes your clothes fall off. I don't know that to be true for you, but
No.
it seems to be a song about it, so that's pretty funny. But I didn't mention it.
And then there's all this stuff with Miranda Lambert and the selfies. And have you seen, like, somebody came to our concert as like, shoot tequila, not selfies, and all this stuff?
Oh wow, no, I have not seen that because
that would not be
I'm
me.
not in touch.
I don't like tequila. I'm anti-tequila club.
Anti-tequila club.
That would make a good shirt.
Anti-tequila club, yeah. Well, we got on the subject because of the high noon vodka sodas, and you said that there was tequila version. You didn't like it. So
I didn't.
I'm drinking cereal for breakfast. Actually, I drank 2 of them. So.
It was a beer and not just a bowl of cereal. Can you imagine?
Or cereal for dinner. I keep on saying cereal for breakfast. It's called cereal for dinner.
Brenner.
Dinter?
Brenner. Do you guys ever have Brenner?
We don't have... Oh, breakfast for dinner. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we do.
Yeah.
You call it Brenner.
Brenner. Why not?
To each their own. Well, anyways, welcome to the show.
This is pretty much how the podcast went today.
It really did. We talked to Ibrahim, which Ibrahim,
yes,
I think
good
is how
job.
he said it.
Yes. He's our buddy from Charlotte.
And you guys, we're going to drop some DTF knowledge on you, but then we're going to give you the ultimate kind of backdoor pass to probably something that's going to help your shop 150%. So you have to watch it though to get that kind of insight. But I think when we said it to him and what I've been using him for, oh my gosh, it's a game changer. So make sure you make it all the way through this episode. But first,
our sponsors, which make this podcast possible. And you guys, we don't talk about them enough. I know we've been a little silent on the social media lately, but I got married and I had some stuff to do, and then I got caught up at work.
Summer.
I've only been to the pool like one time, so
you're going to the beach this weekend.
I need it too. But
we need to talk about our sponsors, but I also want to ask a question at the end, so don't let me forget. Okay, so sponsors.
First one I'd like to talk about.
Go for it.
Blue Ridge Screen Products.
Keep
Aaron at Blue Ridge Screen Products is a wealth of information. If you're getting into screen printing and you want to up your screen printing game, he can help you with ink, screens, squeegees, knowledge bomb central over there.
If you're getting out of screen printing, he'll talk you out of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Every time I hate my life, he's like, let's go get tacos.
Let's discuss this. So
it's true, guys.
he's a wealth of knowledge, and he happens to own Blue Ridge Screen Products, which has a ton of the best products in the industry. And what's cool is if you use that code LASTCALL10, you'll get 10% off of the products, and he does ship, so it doesn't have to necessarily be local to get that.
And the other thing that I would like to bring up, this is one of our last podcasts at your shop because we are moving the podcast up to Aaron's Blue Ridge Screen Products in Huntersville, North Carolina for a screen printer's lounge. He's gonna, you guys,
he built out a suite for us.
So exciting. He's gonna have an area for us all to come hang out, not just me and Jeremy, but all screen printers.
Everybody, yeah.
I think he's gonna have gaming, he's gonna have drinks. I don't play video games, but if you guys like that kind of stuff, he's got it.
There'll be a podcasting area that will be permanently set up. So if you have aspirations for podcasting, you can hit us up or hit Aaron up, and we can help you out with
There's
that.
going to be a schedule online where you can schedule your own time too.
Perfect.
To do that.
So that's going to be great.
Yeah. So he'll have the microphones. He'll have everything there for you. If you want to just do your social media or tutorials that you're going to have for your customers, you can go up there and do it if you're in North Carolina. He's also going to have classes eventually, which I'm excited about.
Yes. I'm excited too. Because who doesn't want to learn more about what we're doing? And that's what we're here for, is to help you guys learn more and be better at what you're doing and grow this community to be the best it can be.
Yeah.
So another person that helps us out, another product, another sponsor for our show is Monarch Color. Monarch Color makes the most, some of the best ink in the industry. I have Monarch's mixing system behind me.
I have it as well.
Got some neons over here on the counter. Got my mixing containers behind me.
I will say about that today too. I was printing some white on black shirts today. That ink was so silky smooth. It was great.
I'm not going to mention names, but I had another supplier of ink come in and tell me how upset that supplier is for me being sponsored by Monarch. And I said, this has nothing to do with me being sponsored. It's just really good ink. So, and they said, well, what's wrong with our ink? And I go, because you just come out with a brand new ink every year that's the best. And why can't you just make the best instead of making ink upon ink upon ink upon ink that says it's the best than last year's version of it? So, and I know everybody's gone through that, but Monarch is truly the best. If you want to know more, they make pigment dispersion systems. They make all kinds of things for the screen printing industry.
I'm going to throw this out there too.
What's that?
If you guys just want to try it and you haven't tried it yet, hit us up. We'll send you a sample.
I've got like 15 quarts over there to give away.
Well, we've got samples too.
Yeah. Oh, do we have samples now? Awesome. So,
but
things I don't even know. Yeah.
Try it. Let us send you a sample, because it is a little pricier than some other inks in the industry, but well worth it. And you guys, I'm as cheap as they get. So. Yeah.
Please try it. And then PMI tape. I got to see Andrew at Waterbase Camp. What a great guy, you guys. If you just look at their social media and check them out, they make great product, great tape, and he helps us out with a lot of things here on the show. So can't say enough about our sponsors.
No.
Can't say enough about this episode.
Yeah.
It's great to be back together.
Yes.
You're going to leave me again and go to the beach, but we're going to...
Just for the weekend. 3 days. 3 days.
Let me ask you, so the question I was going to ask you guys is, do you want to see this more than just every other week? If the answer is yes, please click, and respond to our podcast. Let us know. But then also just leave a message in the comments about wanting to see more of Last Call for Plastisol, and even give us some ideas on what we need to talk about that will help you guys out to be better screen printers and to share the knowledge with everybody.
Jeremy and I both like to talk, but we'll just talk about shit nobody wants to hear about if you let us. So please tell us what you want to hear about.
And we can play some mystery Fear Factor beer stuff. So if you want to have us try out nasty beers or whatever else, good beers on the podcast, please let us know. Christy doesn't like beer, so that would be even more special if you made her drink a beer.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to have fun, and we want to be here for you guys. So thank you so much for watching.
And now on to the episode.
Have a special guest with us today.
This is Ibrahim from DTF NC.
Hello.
Hold the microphone up. Abraham has never been on a podcast before, so we're going to coach him through it, but it's all right. I had never been on a podcast until we started doing this a couple months ago.
Yeah, you jumped straight in.
We just jumped straight in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I would just like to say thank you for saving my tail so many times with your transfers.
At your service.
Yeah. Yes.
So, Jeremy, tell the story of how we met him.
Gosh. So through a friend of ours, actually, Tall Girl Prince, Laura from Tall Girl Prince, I was going to her place to talk, but I knew you worked next door to her, and she's like, "Hey, I got a DTF guy that does really good work," and I was like in a pinch, and I had no
time for super colors.
No time for super color, and so I was like, "All right, I got to get this thing worked out now." I think we had said we would do something in screen printing. It didn't turn out, so I'm like, alternative really quick. DTF, and that's how I met you. You turned it around really quick, and customer was happy, and everyone was happy, and so, so that's how we met, and then I bragged on you.
Yeah. So after that day that you saved Jeremy, he calls me and he's like, Christy, you got to check out these transfers. And I'm very pro Supercolor. And I'm like, yeah, Jeremy, whatever. I don't want to hear it. Yeah. I just kind of like brushed him to the side. All right, it's fine. It's fine. And then I got in a pinch one day and he's like, Christy, no.
Yeah.
These will work for this project. And I go, okay, well, I have no other option at this point, so I'll try it. And you saved me.
Yeah.
Big time. You were printing, 24 hours?
So, your first job for her was what? How many total?
About 12,000 inches in linear length, but we have thrown away around 4,000 inches of work.
Everything was perfect the quality that you gave me.
Good.
Wow.
But it was 1,650 fronts, 1,650 backs, full color.
Wow.
I never want to see a heat press again.
Right. Yeah. Borrow my heat presses.
Well, if next time, if you can let us know 2 weeks in advance.
Listen, I would love to let you know that.
Yeah. So that's what I've gathered about you is you're willing to do whatever to make sure that there's a great product. I know that even if there was something wrong, I mean, you hand delivered them to me. You got them to me that same morning or the next day.
You literally hand delivered us both transfers today coming to the podcast.
Literally, yes. So, so what's the drive? Are you just customer satisfaction?
So I think it goes all the way back to childhood, but empathy and sympathy. And I love helping people out, regardless. I'll go out of my way. It doesn't matter. I had another customer. Her name is Brittany. She literally had a 12-inch work that had to be delivered that day. I drove to Hickory.
Wow, that's not close to Charlotte.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
customer satisfaction, basically.
So, I really want to know your story because obviously you have an accent.
Oh yeah.
And we're calling you Ibrahim, but that's really not your name. So say your name.
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim. And where are you from?
I'm originally Turkish, so Turkey. Istanbul, Turkey.
I've heard that's a beautiful city.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I have a friend. His name is Bob. He's the CEO of a medical company here in Charlotte. A beautiful wife, beautiful family. They just recently went to Turkey, and then I saw this, and I'm like, okay, wait. I'm gonna call some people, and I'll arrange a 2-day tour for you guys. They already did the touristic thing, so I said, okay, now you have to see the part
real Turkey.
Real Turkey. So I
love that.
They were in love. They were in love. They called me. They were ecstatic.
So
how did you get here?
Oh, all right. Okay, that's.
So tell me the inspirational story.
All right. So back in 2012. Well, let me go a little bit back. I am a graduate of English Language and Literature from Bosphorus University in Istanbul. I did an exchange program here in Washington University in St. Louis. Then went back, graduated. Started a cleaning and security business, which ended up having 120 employees within 3 to 4 years. Well, then the government started witch hunting us, confiscated everything I had.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
And then as a result, I had some problems with the intelligence services, the police, and all of that.
Is this why you do Krav Maga?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's one reason.
And is this related to 9/11 type stuff, or?
Oh no.
Okay.
So there was a coup d'état. I don't know if you are familiar. Yeah. So the military tried to take over the government.
Okay.
But it was a whole stage play by the government itself. My ex-fiance reported me to the police.
Oh, wow.
Stating that I was, I had luggages full of information regarding the coup. I'm like, and these 12 police officers ran into the cafe I'm sitting, and they just packaged me and got me out. And I went through a 5-hour. Wasn't really pleasant.
Was that in the States or was it?
No, in Turkey. In Turkey.
I mean,
okay. I was not expecting this at all.
This is
like a TV show.
Yeah,
This is going to be our best episode yet.
No,
Sorry
just
you had to live through this.
but I mean, it's fine.
Tell
It
us all the
teaches-
details. No, I'm just kidding.
I would, but it's a little bloody.
I'm just messing.
The justice system is a little dead back home.
Yeah.
But so after all that happened,
you didn't
and-
date this girl again, right?
Oh no, done. Well, I mean, we broke up. Then
everybody-
she reported, so I think it was
Okay.
a revenge
Yeah.
play on her side, but sad.
Yeah.
However,
this
so
is why you're not married.
oh yeah,
Okay.
I just trying to take
Explains
things
Get it now.
slow.
Okay. Okay.
So police looked up my records, and then so that I had no affiliation whatsoever. I mean, in the backstory, yes, the moment that was affiliated with the coup d'etat was fine, but then my family came to the United States. I came to the United States after being cleared out, but yeah, things happened.
Okay.
And here I am.
So what'd you do when you got to the United States? Where'd you move?
I went to Chicago where my dad was
Okay.
initially. After which I was basically just going over to my friend who's an MD in Detroit. So I visited him for a couple of months, came to Chicago back, and then my father's cousin who was opening up a business in North Lake Mall
Okay.
offered me a job.
Yeah.
For $12 an hour.
How many dollars an hour?
$12 an hour.
$12 an hour.
Yeah. And then,
You did it.
yeah.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. Yeah.
6 months later, me quadrupling the revenues, customer satisfaction.
Yeah.
I got some shares in the business, and then we have successfully served the community of Charlotte for about 7 years.
And this is doing exactly what you're doing now, but
Yes.
more of just decorating T-shirts and
Yes.
from the transfer side of things.
Yes, sir.
Vinyl.
Yes, sir.
Where you started? Did you start in vinyl, or
So
did you
this is how that started.
direct to garment?
I had about $13,000 laying around. I said, let me go ahead and get a vinyl cutter and heat press. I was inspired by my 16-year-old sister, by the way. She started an Etsy business, and then she was doing $30,000 a month in revenue, not
Wow.
profit, but
Yeah.
16, 17 years old, So
Yeah.
I'm like, let me start this on the side and see where it goes. Boom. The business flourished in about 2 to 3 months with my extensive knowledge on search engine optimization and all of that.
Okay.
And then about 2 years passed by, and then we wanted to get into something colorful because vinyl it limits you.
Sure.
It's so labor intensive.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, that too. And we had days where we worked 22 hours. It
It's
was just
ridiculous.
crazy. Then I took the leap of faith with my business partner Eddie. Hired this warehouse right here in Charlotte. Bought the commercial DTF printers and got into it.
So,
So-
DTF. Go ahead.
How did you meet Eddie?
Oh, through a friend of ours that I have. He owns a restaurant in Myrtle Beach and some other little businesses. He just introduced me to him, and I'm like, okay, would you like to come over to the Fix, where I was fixing phones for people or giving technical service?
Okay, I've heard of that. I've heard of the Fix. Anyways.
And then he agreed, and then here we are. Well,
Okay. So you guys worked together at the Fix for a while before you decided to lease the space and buy your commercial DTG.
oh no.
machines.
That
No.
it all happened simultaneously, really.
Okay.
So when I owned the Fix, we started working with Eddie, and then on the side we started the
Gotcha. Yep.
vinyl business.
Okay.
The heat
Yep.
press vinyl Etsy.
Yeah.
And then we had a partnership going on since then. 2 years went by, and then we got into DTF.
Okay.
So why DTF? Was
Have
it
you-
just
have
up
you-
and coming, or was it just like, what made you have that decision? Because I know a lot of people are like all about direct to garment 2 or 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, direct to garment was like everything. I had people coming into the shop trying to sell me on it, and then all of a sudden there was like this mysterious super color.
It's a big shift. Yeah.
Yeah, and DTF. So
So what happened was, I'm a believer in God, and
Okay.
I had these whispers.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
And nothing.
Listen, I'm big into like gut reaction to things and how things feel. And every time I don't follow my gut, I'm like, oh, I should have done that. And every time I do, I'm like, yep. Here it is.
I had literally placed an order for a Aldi commercial DTF printer with 2 heads. And then I went to Texas to see my family. My family's in Houston. My father was like, oh, you should meet this guy. He has like several printers and he's doing really good.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me meet him. And then I meet him and he introduces me to his supplier of his printers. He's a Turkish guy too, by the way. And best machine I've seen out there.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful that I did not go with the Aldi because I'm hearing a lot of
And well, that's the thing is it's so new that you that's why I was curious about how like your path and how you got the machines you got, because I've heard so many horror stories, about people jumping into like with a Cobra Flex or something else and then going, oh no, I had to get rid of it because it's just maintenance issues like crazy. So
maintenance, not only that, let alone the machine. You can put the machine to the side. You have to have the perfect film. You have to have the perfect ink. You have to have the perfect equipment in order to maintain the printer. So many stars, like I've told before, many stars have to align from humidity levels to temperature to color to film. Like we recently tried out another film because our order was late on UPS, and we tried the film and we did not like it. We just threw it away because it had electrostatic energy on it. It was collecting dust. And even though it would not stick to the garment when pressed, it was not looking the part. It wasn't good quality. So you get into DTF, and who taught you how to do that? You just learn on your own? Trial and error. So we initially started getting some outsourced work from companies in Texas for cheap. And that taught us a lot because we messed up big time. There was banding, there was alignment issues, like choke or contract work and everything. So 6 months.
Oh wow.
Hell.
Yeah.
But once we got grasp of the business and once we understood what the quality should be, we are there now.
So you never went to a class on it or anything like that? You're just self-taught, mistakes, kind of like my screen printing journey.
Definitely. But at the same time, we did. So the company that sold the printers to us did a training on it, but it wasn't extensive. It would not. It did not cover any of the problems that we faced during the journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And so. I had never seen one of these printers before, and so I came into y'all's shop that day that I needed all those transfers. I still have a headache. And you have a humidity control going. It's running. You've got a guy heat pressing for you sell your own designs or no? What is he?
Yeah, so we have Etsy and Amazon businesses where we do print on demand. So people buy our own designs, we press it, ship it.
How's that going?
Now it's slowed down for some reason, but I did a deep tech analysis of our current shops. There are marketing agencies out there de-ranking people during the week. And it's such a shame. I mean, we are doing 1/3 of what we were doing last year.
Oh wow!
On that side, so it's a little disappointing, but it's fine because our DTF business is pretty good, thankfully.
I did find that we used to sell FBA on Amazon, our fitness apparel, and we did really well. We were jamming on there for a while, and then all of a sudden, we noticed that Amazon was advertising the things that would do well for us to other vendors, like sell more like this garment, and then all of a sudden, we couldn't compete with other vendors who wanted to put, we were on the 60-10 next levels, and then they were just putting them on like a soft style or something like that. But people don't know when they're going. They're just looking for the design that's cute.
Right.
And then you buy that super cheap on Amazon. But I had a bad taste in my mouth from all of that. Like, if someone's doing well with you, you should promote their business, not try to put them out of business or like encourage competition. I don't know.
Also, throughout that business, throughout Etsy and Amazon, I've learned one thing: never say no to a customer. We did a bad job. Okay, I'm sending you another one. Don't worry about it. I got it covered.
Right.
You are not paying anything.
Right. Well, so yeah, and this is a philosophy that we've talked about before on the show here, is that we, you know, for my business, I don't like anybody to walk away with something they don't want.
Yes.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So regardless, they're going to end up getting what they want. It may hurt me, but I messed up.
Yeah.
So
it's learning.
It's okay. It's learning. Yeah. And that's helped us to maintain our high reviews and things like that, you know. And I imagine it's the same for you. I mean, you do go above and beyond. I mean,
I have to. And it's not about the money. It's never been.
And it says a lot, because, you know, like we've it's not been perfect. You know, everybody makes mistakes, and so, but to see you react the way you react, it goes so far.
Yeah.
It does go so far, and so really, really appreciate that from you.
Of course.
So my next question is, as a transfer producer, how do you get your customers with all these big name transfer producers in the industry? You know, you've got Supercolor, you've got a Howard's, and he
didn't know who Supercolor was when I was talking to him. So
that's another, I want to say, quality of mine. I don't compete. There's no need to be competing. I'm doing my own. I'm on my own road. I'm on my own path. If they're providing beautiful transfers, good for them. I mean, and if they're not, none of my business.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of how all of us.
We're on our own path.
We're all on our own path.
That's it. We talk about it differently when we're off air, but we can't say a lot of things we've done on air.
We do, but it's kind of like what we're doing as screen printers. We're not competing with each other in the market, because we're both on our own path and trying to figure it out and carve our own way. But there's a lot more things out there than just worrying about what the person next door is doing.
Exactly.
You know?
I had a big brand name actually reach out. I don't want to.
That's all right.
But they were like,
you can name drop off air.
Off air.
All right. They were like, we are all for healthy competition, but what you're doing is wrong. What did we do wrong? You have worded this specifically the same way we have in our website. I'm like, I did not know you copyrighted the Urban Dictionary.
Yes.
Free shipping, 24-hour free shipping. I mean, and the owners reaching out, that was a little
but
sad.
You know what? Like, you could think of it another way too. Like, how kind of cool is it that they're looking at your website?
I had a little smirk on my face.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, so all right, let's go back. So you got DTF. You said you had extensive knowledge in SEO, and that's kind of what took your business off. So what knowledge is that?
Yeah, can you help us?
Yeah.
I can definitely refer you to my team now.
Okay.
But so what it is so the first initial question you have to be asking is, how am I going to sell? People need to find me.
Yeah.
How will they find me? Voila.
And we do things differently, because I asked you the first time, I'm like, what's your Instagram? And you're like, I don't have one. And I'm like, what is this magic?
Google. And
Right, Google, yeah.
North Carolina, literally virgin lands for DTF. People do not know. And I just received an email from Omega Graphics today asking to help. But the owner was complaining about how he could not have consistent quality. I'm ordering from Alabama. I'm ordering from Georgia. I'm ordering from Virginia. They cannot keep the quality consistent. We would like to come and see your samples. I'm like, sure, whenever you would like. We are here from 9 to 6:30. But on the SEO part, like I said, the last question, where is my customer going to find me apart from social media? Google, of course. And how does Google algorithm work? Organic search engine optimization, and then paid ads.
Yeah.
My paid ads are suspended now because I'm apparently misrepresenting for some reason. It has been 3-4 months. It's crazy. We're trying to solve that still. Hopefully in about 2 to 3 weeks it'll be fine, and then
it's crazy. Yeah, I mean Google's good and bad for that. You know, like I had a negative review, right? And I'm like, how did I get a 1 star? And do we know these people? You know? And so I called my SEO guy, And, and I responded. He goes, respond. So I responded. I'm like, hey, I don't know who you are. Can you tell me the job that we were working on? We strive for 100%.
Yeah.
I can't find you in my system. Can you tell me more?
Yeah.
And while I'm on the phone with my SEO guy, he's like, all right, go to the bottom of the page. And I said, all right, let me refresh here. And I refreshed, and it was gone, and I was back to a 5-star review. And I was like, it's gone. And he goes, let me refresh. And he refreshed, and it was gone. And he goes, Google picked it up. So, like, I don't know. They must have, like, Google,
So
SEO cops involved in all this
I
stuff.
have experience on that field. So being in the fixing technology, we had a lot of competitors around, and very bad people at that too, as in they have bad intentions.
Yeah.
They want to leave a review. They would literally open up several different accounts, put a 1 star, write something very
So
bad.
crazy.
It's sad. And then I'm receiving all these at like 1, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm going crazy.
Yeah, so what do you do? Yeah.
But if you just think about it, like all these people, what if they just put that energy into actually trying to sell something to customers that wanted their stuff?
The world would be a better place.
Come on.
Yeah, I know. It was ridiculous. And I was like, man, I've worked 6 years of 5-star review here.
Yeah.
And you're going to ruin it with just somebody from,
Crap.
and it wasn't even like you could tell they weren't from here. Like they were in Spain or something.
Mm.
And I'm like, and it was gone.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah, and you can also report it to Google, and then Google literally just goes and sees if it's a spam negative
Right.
review, and then they can just remove it.
Yeah.
So Ibrahim, you do drink, but today you're not drinking because you are recovering from a Krav Maga
Yep.
injury, right? So,
Well, I'm recovered. I'm just continuing to recover.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So Krav Maga, how'd you get into that?
I've always been into martial arts. I've done taekwondo, aikido, and then I realized that they don't really do much.
Yeah.
Krav Maga is intense. It
I took one class and had bruises like all down my
yeah.
arm.
So that's
Wasn't for me.
Krav Maga is what? Judo, jiu-jitsu?
It's basically
little
everything.
A little bit everything.
Yes, it's Israeli close combat.
Yep.
The Mossad trains with Krav Maga.
Okay.
And we have a crazy sensei.
Yeah.
Very crazy.
So you said Turkey in relation to like biblical areas. Where is that? What would that be considered like
So
in?
Israel, Palestine, Bulgaria, Turkey, like Iran, Syria, Saudi Arabia.
That
so
was all
it's
the
the Middle
path.
East. It's the only country with 3 seas surrounding it.
Okay.
This sounds really naive, but is it safe to go there, like as an American?
So as an American, yes, but for me, it's not. My dad is on the orange list.
Mm-hmm.
My name is on a list of graduates from the best university in Turkey that are being actively sought after
Oh,
for
wow.
some reason. I don't know, but yeah, I've been a pretty decent human being all my life.
Yeah.
It's-
I can attest that you're a pretty decent human being.
Thank you, sir.
So DTF. I like to talk about it because it's kind of new and up and coming.
It's interesting, and I have to say, like, I used to be a screen printing snob, and I didn't want anything to do with these transfers at all. But they're changing the game, and they're helping us provide better customer service to our customers that we love. We're able to get smaller quantity jobs, more complex jobs out faster. Anything that is a rush or is slipped in, last minute, I can teach anybody to press a transfer.
Yeah. So we have a lot of people out there in the screen printing world that watch us that may have not used DTF. Do you have any thoughts for the people out there as what might benefit them from going with a company like you for that type of product?
Firstly, we can print any color, anything you would like with
PMS matches for me.
with amazing precision and perfection. No alignment issues, no banding, colors are on point. What amazes me about DTF is the fact that they last a long time.
Yeah.
I have samples that I have done 70 hot cold washes on, zero deterioration. The t-shirt goes bad, and the vibrancy and vividity of the colors are still there. And I have others that have gone under 50 hot wash cycles, nothing. And then you can take it and rip it apart, like not rip it, just stretch it as much as you can.
Yeah, they really do stretch nice.
And no cracks.
No cracks. Yeah. So when you're so here's a secret. So it's really hard in the screen printing industry. So just so you know, it's really hard to we do jerseys for softball teams, baseball teams, sports, right? It's really hard to find someone who does a numbering system, 0s, 1s, 2s, 3s, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9s, right? In packages other than stalls.
Correct.
Right? Nobody does it in DTF. Absolutely nobody. So you want a hot market to get into, my friend.
Got it,
right?
Yeah.
So absolutely no one. When you do a gang sheet with other companies, you can name them all, but other companies, when you do gang sheets, you have to buy a minimum of a gang sheets, right?
What, like 10 is the minimum of most places now?
But you got to fit it within a certain amount of area, right? Because their gang sheets are limited to sizes. Okay.
And you have to create the gang sheet yourself.
So what I found is nice, and this is why I use you, is because I can do numbers for jerseys, and I can just give you the only numbers I need, and you print just the numbers I need in the colors that I want them printed in, and the shapes and sizes, and right. So I have a graphic designer. He can do the numbers in whatever font I want. He can do he can create custom fonts. He can do whatever he needs to do, and then I just send them to you. You print them, we cut them out, put them on the jerseys. Perfect. You can't do that in screen printing transfers other than one company, and you're limited to the colors that they have and the fonts they have, right? So I honestly think you're sitting on a gold mine in the custom side of things that you know.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think
and when I got into screen printing, being a sports apparel company, we have a lot of requests for jerseys and stuff. And when I would go ask people as an screen printer, they'd be like, "Oh, you just can't do it. You can just buy this giant box of transfers that all look the same." And I'm like, "Well, that doesn't work for everybody. Like, they want their jerseys to look different, you know?"
Yeah. Exactly.
And it was like, well, too bad, so sad. And I don't like telling my customers like that. I know you don't like telling your customers like that. So this is a perfect solution for that. Like, you guys, the options are out there.
Yeah. And the alternative is you guys go buy a numbering press at home, right? Or you go in your shop and you have to buy a numbering press, and then you got to screen print individual numbers. And that takes time and effort, and you got to line up numbers and do all kinds of stuff. I'm like, I just need a DTF person to do numbers. And you got to
print on poly most of the time.
And poly, yeah. So that would be the only question for me is we would need to start to test the poly side of things, because I've done screen printed transfers on Nike jerseys.
Yep.
And that doesn't like them. It doesn't like to stretch, right? So I've seen it crack and come off so the screen printing side of things on Nike jerseys. So we have to figure out, I think, the material side of things, and do some testing maybe. But to 100% trust it, unless you have, but that might be in the next path for you as well. But I think you're sitting on a gold mine, and I think there's the hundreds of thousands of whoever's listening to this podcast are going to be like,
people
are going to be like, oh crap, I can go to this guy and he'll do numbers in a gang sheet for me.
Yeah. And you guys, I don't know how many of you use GraphX, but I use GraphX. And so my proofs are on point every time. I just send you my proofs, and you guys rip the artwork from there every time. It's not complicated at all, which I love.
Yeah. So how many, so is that news to you that doesn't exist, or?
Not, so you have opened up a horizon for me.
Okay,
in that
cool.
aspect.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
It'll just be, I'll just bill you.
Send
No
more
problem,
baklava.
no problem.
More baklava, yeah. No, okay.
And so I understand where you're coming from on that. We are actually currently working on creating categories. We had outsourced so many different categories to different graphic designers who are creating like Christmas themed designs or Thanksgiving, softball, football, whatever you can imagine. And we have over 20,000 high resolution, beautiful designs at our hand waiting to be published on our website so that people can just click, choose size, check out. We haven't gotten to it because we have been really busy, but
you guys
soon.
are busy print transfer.
So I would suggest looking into Graphics Flow. They're not a sponsor of the show, but they're a product of Inksoft, and I think that it's basically a vector library. Pretty cheap. It's not that expensive, but they have basically your customers can use it just as a design portal. There's a lot of softwares out there that do like the listing is available out there for you to maybe tap into as a resource, so that you're maybe not paying a whole a ton. And what's nice about that, what the Graphics Flow side of things is that every 30 days they refresh the designs, so it's constantly changing for the season. But
so let me try to understand. So there's a website or a portal. Graphic X.
Well, this one's Graphics Flow.
Graphics Flow.
Very similar name, but different.
So we use a design service called GraphX, GraphX Source.
Yes, where like anything you get from me, they just create it for me.
Basically, it's our own graphic designer for our company, but it's just not located at our shop. It's a virtual graphic designer.
All right, and then for the Graphics Flow. They just store vectors of the files.
Basically.
It seems pretty similar to what you're trying to create on your own.
Yeah.
But I wonder if there's a way for you to integrate what they've already created into your website so people could just check out and go.
And Deco Network is another one that does it.
Yeah, my friend Jess with the Gildan Board of Decorators, she used DecoNet.
Yeah.
And she loves it.
And that's kind of the same thing. Like, so your customers can go on there and look, and then they can actually ask for things to be changed. They can't change them themselves, but they can ask for them to be changed. And like, hey, can you change this text to this? Can you replace this object with this or whatever? And obviously you guys can do that pretty easily, but you can also do it in the actual software. But it's just a way for you to have those types of things at your fingertips so that like customers can go through, and it's all categorized. So I'll share the information with you.
Please, thank you so much.
Yeah, not a problem. I mean, there's no sense of recreating the wheel if you don't have to.
Well, until you have time to recreate it.
Until you have time, right? And and you could easily. I mean, you got all the time in the world. What do you know?
So, Jeremy, what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking the one thing that you thought was the grossest thing in the world, which is about every other beer that you bring me. So we're even. No, it's Edmund's Oast.
I see this at the store all the time, but I've never gotten it.
Cereal for dinner.
The packaging is beautiful.
And you said it was gross.
I did not like it, but you liked it.
It's like,
I can't even like put my finger on what it tastes like. But
I don't know.
What do you think it tastes like?
I think it tastes like honey bunches of oats.
Oh, I
Cereal.
like honey bunches of oats, though. It does not taste like that.
In my mind, it does. It's better than Cheerwine beer.
Oh, that was rough.
That was really rough.
That was rough. But you know what? We still haven't tried the Bojangles sweet tea.
No, we haven't.
I want to get some before it's
Well, how about you?
Well, you guys, I always complain about the beer that we drink, but today we're drinking High Noon vodka and soda, which, how can I complain about that?
Yeah, but it's pretty good, right?
I love it.
Yeah, and you said you had the tequila version and you didn't like it, so.
Correct.
That was a little too bitey.
Tequila makes me a little angry, so.
Don't want to do that. There's a song, but we're not going to go this song. Okay. So I used to go to a bar, I'm going to go off on a tangent here.
We like tangents.
But I used to go to a bar, and they would have like $2 margarita nights, right?
I can't do it.
But there was guys were not allowed to have margaritas.
Really? Oh, so you had to bring
because
a
they
chick
fought.
with you. Well,
they were like, the tequila makes the guys fight.
Yeah.
So guys are only allowed to have beer. Girls can have the margaritas.
Yeah.
And so that was the craziest thing. But
I'm a generally happy, like, easygoing person, but like for some reason I can have one tequila drink and I'm ready to burn it down.
That's all I drink, only tequila shots. That's
Are
it.
you kidding
me? It gives me a lot of clarity.
clarity. Well, he's Krav Maga.
Yeah, you're a little
clarity
more aggressive
to kick
than
your
me.
ass. I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
I just don't like the way it makes me feel more aggressive. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's funny.
I feel happy.
Yeah.
So, Jeremy, you just got back from water-based camp.
I did.
How was
Do you
it?
mind if we talk about something
Yes,
else?
please,
real quick?
please.
So, water-based camp was pretty cool. Met a lot of good people there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cool people. So stay tuned for that because I think we're going to have a lot of people on that we met there.
You met there.
I met
well,
there.
in Jackson.
Yes, Jackson met. And so it was my son Jackson. But it was cool. I mean, Night Owls was there doing some water-based training. We had Forward Printing was there. There was a guy, I think Forward only did discharge. And then, I mean, I would say 90% was of water-based, but then Night Owls was 100%.
And did you get an ice bath?
No, they did do it though.
Did
There's
they put people
Instagram
on the
posts.
forklift?
They didn't. They actually did it really, really early in the morning. It was so hot. It was 106 degrees there.
Oh my gosh.
So I went purposely to meet some friends there who we met at Print Hustlers, Bud and Mandy,
Oh,
who
I love
own
them.
yeah, who own Creative Concepts by Mandy. So I got to tour her shop.
And all her new equipment. she's
All her new
gotten
equipment.
lately?
It's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
guys, if you're in the Fort Worth area, you definitely have to go see Mandy.
They are the sweetest people.
They are, and they're happy to give you a tour of the shop. They got some really cool stuff going on there. They just got a new dryer the day I was there.
A Vastex.
They got a Vastex, yep. So we did that, and then we went out to dinner with them and drinks with them. We watched a guy about die right in front of us, who was having like a diabetic coma kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
That was crazy, and like to watch the paramedics try to get him, and then like we're making bets on if the guy refuses medical treatment, and he refused it.
Stop.
And then he went into he went into a seizure again, and then they broke out the paddles on him at one point.
Stop.
It was so crazy, and I'm like, we're gonna watch this guy die, right?
Yeah.
And he didn't. He came to, and he's like, all right, hey, how's it going? So and then the bar.
Did you say, do you need some t-shirts?
The bar owner was like, he's a regular. I'm like, he does this every Thursday, So, anyways, but no, we met some really cool shops. Met a guy in Alaska. Met guys that I thought were twins, Sam and Wiley. They're not. It's pretty cool guys. And then
And you toured Brett's shop?
I toured Printed Threads, which was where the actual seminar side of things was. And then got to see Andrew James, who was our PMI tape guy.
Oh, yeah.
Got to hang out with Andrew a little bit, and I got to hang out with Jesse from Matsui Inc. And just some guys from Ryonet. Got to hang out with those guys, and Printing United was there. Printing
awesome.
Magazine was there.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool things going on, and so we did that.
I love all of that.
Made Labs was really, really, really cool. If you ever get a chance to take a class at Made Labs, please do so.
So, did you learn enough to start printing water-based ink again?
No. Well, yes, I learned enough.
Or are you inspired to try to start again?
I learned enough, and it was inspirational enough to be like, here's the deal, guys. I'm not gonna blow smoke up everybody's butt and think that's it's great, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Water-based ink is completely a different animal. It requires 110% attention at all times. You cannot look away. You cannot walk away.
This is why I couldn't do it. I tried once,
Right.
and I am way too squirrel brained.
So what it is you got to have a team. You got to build your business, have a team. What I walked away with is the knowledge that, hey, if you don't have the customer base to support it or that demands it, there's no sense in doing it.
That's a really great point, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's worth the price of admission right there, is to have some clarity around like what it's going to take to even make it worthwhile.
Yeah. And so I'm guessing that's the same for like a direct-to-film. That's all you do, right, is direct-to-film stuff.
Yes.
So you got to have a demand for it in order to do, right?
Definitely.
The machine going and everything.
So do you find that, so you said you had an Etsy store. Do you find that are you still doing the Etsy store?
I'd rather not do it, but
Okay.
we are doing it.
Okay.
Fortunately, thankfully, but it's too much hassle. Especially me being a quality freak and making sure everything goes smooth, everything is on point. It just tires me a lot.
Who is your core customer right now? Like who's your
DTF?
or just like screen printers like us, or?
Oh no, we have actually retail mamas.
Yeah. Okay.
Etsy
Soccer
moms.
moms. Yeah.
Etsy moms.
Yeah.
Etsy moms or moms that have their own Facebook groups that are selling individual transfers to people.
All right. So can you think of? I'm gonna put you on the spot here. What's the most repeatable design that you constantly do? Like, I know that there's like some funky designs.
What are you tired of seeing?
What are you tired of seeing?
I'm never tired of seeing vivid, vibrant colors.
Oh, that's very PR.
but there's this weird thing. Most of our retail customers get for some reason. It's a monogram, a big monogram, and it has people's initials. And when I asked my customers, they're like, in the South, people love this.
The monograms.
They love their monograms.
The monograms.
People call me all the time to embroider monograms, and I'm like, I'm not touching your stuff for that. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Do you guys do it?
No. Well, not necessarily. We try not to have people bring in their own stuff. So
Yeah. The only I
Christmas time, I think we make exceptions.
Yeah, I do take in individual things, but it's for my country clubs because I'm selling them other things too, and that's for their golf pros or the tennis pros. But I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Have you ever had anybody ask you to like do one personal item or anything like that, or you just deal 100% online?
Of course.
Do you do it?
Yeah. I mean, today. So listen to this. I directed my search engine optimization of my fix business to our current warehouse. So I have people coming in for fixes too. So when they come in for fixes, they see the commercial printers running. And they're like, "Can I get sure, $15?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Let's go."
Yeah.
And if they want more than 10, of course, there's more discounts to it. But
have you been to the mall lately?
I don't go to the mall anymore.
Okay, well, they're probably charging $25 for the same thing you're doing for $15.
Yeah.
Just so you know. So like,
yeah.
Up your prices, dude. I've told you that before, though.
Yes.
Yes, we tell it. We tell everybody that though. Me and your like, captains raise your price.
Yeah, I want you to do good. And there's, I mean, if you can go to let's talk about this for a second. If you go to Lids at the mall, Christy, go to Lids at the mall.
Well, I'm not a shopper.
Fine,
so
but
I'm not going to the mall.
I guarantee that you can go to Lids and you're going to get you could go to, which is just the Lids is all it is a hat store. Okay. You go to the Lids store and you pick out a New Era baseball hat that you can buy on Sanmar for $9.
Yeah.
And you pick out a logo to put on that New Era, and it's probably, I mean, it's an embroidered logo, so it's preset.
Yeah.
It's typically a name on the side of the hat. If you want more than one name or more than one logo on that hat, then they charge you per area, right?
Yeah.
Minimum $35.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
minimum $35 for one hat.
But I don't embroider anything for under $15.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But
I just don't.
There's a difference by going to the mall and having it right there for you right then, right?
It's just my time to interact with somebody.
Yeah.
You know.
Go ahead.
I mean, you have a very valid point. The problem is, I empathize with the customer.
Sure.
I sympathize, and then I'm like, okay, am I overcharging? Am I undercharging? And then I'll let it go. So I just settle. But I am where you're at because I know the quality of work that.
Yeah, your quality is great.
Yeah. And I think that you, even just being on the show, that you're going to start to get, like, I would imagine that your numbering system, if you came up with a numbering system, but even I wouldn't even do that. I would just hey, we do custom numbers for softball teams, baseball teams, whatever, names and numbers, matching names and numbers. I know you said that you could have done the logo on the back. You could do the logo on the front too. I mean, there's people that would jump on that right away, and the small boutique shops that don't print, that are getting transfers, but then also
even at our shop, if someone comes to me, I try not to say no anymore because I do have you as a resource, and I do have Laura doing DTG as well, but I don't let anybody walk out for under $30 a shirt, and I'm getting the transfer from you, or I'm getting the DTG from Laura for that, and then she's charging less, you're charging less. And I'm like, your value that you're providing to these customers is so great, and the time to interact with them and make sure they're happy, and you're going to replace it if they're not happy, and all these things. It's worth a lot.
Of course.
It is.
So the reason behind it is, apart from the ones that I have already mentioned, when you start the apparel business on Etsy, and you're in that competition, people are selling shirts. I mean, the quality may be bad, but it's very low and cheap. So you're trying to stay in a range.
Yeah.
And then you have ad spend, you have fees, this, that, and then you're left with whatever. So
So could your price be different on Etsy than if someone's just walking in and you've already got that customer like right there, you know?
Yeah, of course. But I'm coming from a point of service. I'm trying to help whoever.
Right.
So
that's good.
I'm clashing between myself, my interest, and the customer's interest, and I'm left in that price range.
Right.
So
I get it.
So here, as a business person, though, you know the value of tracking that type of stuff, and knowing where your price points are and where they need to be in order for you to cover the expenses that you have. Right. You have expensive equipment. I'm sure
He's about to have a new space.
The film is not cheap, right? The waste, you have to consider in the waste and all of that too, right? I mean, because you're eating the waste if you're not thinking about it, right? So there is those components in there. So I think there's value in that. I do it with ink. I do it with time.
Time is the other.
Here's the craziest things. One of the biggest things I walked away from was there was a guy at the show who manages the screen printing side of Young Ones. Now, if you can go look up Young Ones, Young Ones is a national company. It's all over the world, right? They do screen printing on blanks. They're actually not even blanks, panels of garments before they're sewn, right? Wow. High-end stuff, Gore-Tex, rain jackets, that kind of stuff. They're constantly trying to solve problems when they're doing this stuff, right? This guy, during this conference, he had a beer. He set his beer across the stage, and he walked over to the other side of the stage and was talking. And then he would stop for a second and walk across the stage and get a drink of his beer and come back and then continue talking again. And he did. I'm like, this is curious. Why does this guy keep on doing this? Well, halfway through his talk, he's like, time is money, right? He goes, so how many times did I walk across to get my beer? 7. Okay, 7 times. It took me about 6.8 seconds to walk across and get my beer. Probably 4 seconds each way, so let's just change it to 8 seconds, right? So I'm like, okay, where's he going with this? Well, and he started figuring out how many people worked in this company, what he charged for salary. He boiled it down to its point for every second. It cost 0.007 cents for him to walk across for every second. Well, 8 seconds, that's nothing. It's what, like 0.06 cents, right, or something when you boil it down, right? So he did it over days, months, and then a year. It ended up being $482 for him to walk across the room to take a drink of his beer and then come back, right? So just that time spent doing that, you don't even realize you're doing it, but it's costing your company money, right? So he's like, what's the takeaway? Well, start moving things closer, start making more sense of how you run your shop, so that when you do have production, the people aren't walking across the room to get a tape measure. They're not walking over here to get this. They're not cutting. Where's my scissors? They're walking out around to get scissors, right? Put the things in the locations. Think about those things, because it may not seem that big of a deal at the time, but if 10 of your employees are doing the same exact thing, you just lost $1,200 or $4,000 or however many people are actually doing it a year. That stuff adds up. Time is money.
I think that's a skill acquired, and I think I'm still learning, and I'll get there.
We're all learning things.
No, and that's the great thing is that's why it's a learning experience. I don't do all of that, but I think that's a goal for me moving forward, is to try to think about those things and go, man, I could actually be making more money. I could actually be doing business better.
There's your vacation.
Right.
Did you get your passport, by the way?
No, that's a nightmare. I think we just
Jeremy
settled
just
down.
won a cruise.
I just want a cruise. But it's a Bahama cruise, so I can go on my birth certificate.
Okay.
So I don't have to. But
Through BNI.
yeah, I
talks
lost
about that
my so I let my passport. Don't let your passport run out. It's just ridiculous. But anyways, but now I have to. Yeah, like I have aspirations to one day, travel with, I don't know, you to Barbados or something, to Gildan or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But in doing that, I need a passport.
You definitely need a passport. So it's a funny story at the when we applied for the Gildan Board of Decorators and they chose us. It was a very fast process. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, 3 weeks, you got it. You're going to Honduras. And we were like, oh, crap. So 2 of the people didn't get to go because they did not have their passport in time. But so you guys get your passports. You never know what's going to come your way.
Yeah. So have you traveled anywhere outside of these states in a while since?
Currently, I cannot because I'm still waiting for my interview.
Okay.
My green card interview. It's a little dangerous for me to go anywhere because like I have said, Turkish government is actively kidnapping people from other countries and getting people back into Turkey, and then it's crazy.
That's intense.
Yes. So I'm just
I thought
waiting.
I had problems.
No, the wedding. Yeah, your son's getting married?
My son's getting married.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, and I have a sick puppy, so there's a lot going on in my house right now. But yeah. So yeah, getting kidnapped is not on my list right now. So of worries, but my gosh,
we could add it. We know some people.
We know some people. Yeah. So, what's your aspirations moving forward? You've kind of done a little bit of everything. You're still fixing phones, you said.
Yeah.
Right. So is that the thing? Is just whatever can get me, moving forward as an entrepreneur? Or you
just like to have you like
you
squirrel
to
brain too?
Yeah.
So I was diagnosed with ADHD. So
everybody was.
Yeah. But
Literally every single person in screen printing.
But go ahead.
But I just cannot stand still. So I need to be doing something.
Okay.
And I like it.
Yeah.
I like being all over the place.
So now where do you go? So what do you do? So you're going to get a bigger location, you said?
Yes. So we recently leased 2 locations right next to our current location. One of which will be strictly commercial printing. So we will have DTF machines, more than 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And
how many do you have right now?
Currently 2. We are on board for 3.
Okay.
The third one.
They're all
You already
running?
bought it?
Yeah, the third one I'm about to buy it.
Okay.
You have 2 running?
There's only one running purely because my electrician has been stalling me for the past 2
But you're
months.
moving. You're moving.
Yeah, and we just told him, okay, August 4. This is the deadline and he already bought some things.
Sure.
So he just.
So you need a bigger space. So you're moving to a bigger space.
Yes, definitely. One part will be complete the apparel, wholesale apparel, and then heat pressing.
Yeah.
And the other side will be commercial printing.
Okay. And is it again in Charlotte still?
Yes, same exact location.
Okay, just bigger.
The street number is different. Yeah.
Okay, so you're just basically expanding out into a larger area.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your square footage right now?
Currently about 1,300.
Okay, and you're gonna double it,
Yes,
or
double it.
Okay, cool.
So 2,600.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, it's great. You're gonna run out of room really quick.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. If you're gonna get another one, you're gonna be like,
Hopefully, sir.
What challenges in moving do you see coming?
Well, thankfully, we're not moving that far. So
Yeah.
the only thing was making sure everything is aligned properly, as in cut the electricity, turn on the electricity, cut spectrum, turn spectrum on, so that you do not have any loss of workflow.
Spectrum
Yeah.
is the internet service.
Internet service that's provided there
Yeah.
only. So
Do we need to plan on you being closed any
Oh
days?
no.
Okay.
So we have arranged. We have talked to our landlord so that we have 4-day grace period for our current place. and then we can move 4 days earlier on our newly leased spot. So
okay.
So you got to get the equipment installed in there too, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys have it all worked out, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It's good.
Yeah.
So DTF for the future, or
Definitely.
okay, definitely.
You guys are in.
Yep.
And so what about, do you think you're ever going to print metallics or anything like that?
So actually, there are systems and rolls and different types of paints, inks that you can use to make the design either shiny or with glitter and all of that. I haven't seen anything yet that, the metallic look. Not yet, but it's
Okay.
So I would suggest you look at Supercolor because they are doing the metallics now.
And they're good. Did
And
you
they're
get a sample pack?
I did. So they're pretty
I like
good. But that's neither here nor there.
I was just wondering.
It's available.
I'm just wondering.
It's available.
Our next machine is going to be a UV DTF.
Okay.
So we're gonna be doing stickers.
Okay.
Oh.
And
Right. I've heard that too. Yeah.
it just prints. The curing process, there is no curing process. And just take it out, cut it out, stick it, peel it off, done. And
right. Yeah, I think what's cool about direct to film is that you can put it in a lot of places. I know, Christy, you were saying that you're going to put it on the underside of a hat.
Yeah, the under brim.
Yeah. I've seen it on the top here. I've seen it all over the place on a hat.
Yeah.
Across the seams, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
On a 6-panel, you can do it right across the seam. A lot of times manufacturers want to know, or the suppliers, the direct to films want to know that if it's going across the seam or not. But they'll say, hey, is it on a 5-panel pad or a 6-panel hat?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this goes with the underbrim because I get a lot of requests for like custom fabric under the brim. So I'm thinking, but people that can't afford it. So I'm thinking, well, this might be a way to do that kind of thing for my customers when they can't afford it.
I've applied DTF on PVC, so it basically goes on anything.
Yeah. Okay. I've seen it where I've run into problems with it on canvas, but then I've used yours and it goes just fine on canvas. So tip for that for sure. There's a lot of things you can put it on.
Yep. I have customers that put it on notebooks.
Yeah.
So when I press other brands of transfers, I have to press the garment first, then lay the transfer down, and then press that, and then press again. But with your transfers, I don't have to press the garment first and get the moisture out. Do you have any idea why that is? Like why?
No idea, to be honest. We haven't been using any kind of Teflon or parchment on none of our presses. We just straight put it there, press the transfer, take it out, cool.
Do you have any idea, Jeremy?
I just think it's like if it's the humidity in your shop, I guess it's making sure that it sticks by pre-pressing.
Especially with like Comfort Colors, we have to pre-press a lot of
Comfort Colors is different because that's a garment dyed.
Garment dyed, yeah.
Yeah,
so it's got a lot of moisture in it.
It's got a lot of moisture in it. It actually, a lot of times, a tie dye will feel wet when you get it still. Yeah, which is crazy. But the reality is like they can't wash it with like any detergents or do anything like that because then it won't stick at all. Yeah. So there's like a lot of things that you run into. So yes, specifically for a garment dyed, it's going to take you longer to press it on a garment dyed too. So like a Comfort Colors or a soft color shirt or soft shirts. Yeah. So I know it takes longer for screen printing to dry. Yeah. On those things, depending on the type of dryer you have, but yeah, I would just be precautious when you're doing that type of thing for DTFs. If you feel like you have to do it, do it. I don't see why. I mean, I haven't with Ibrahim's transfers, but I have with Super Colors and stuff. I had to pre-press. Yeah. But they go on very smooth once you pre-press. If you don't pre-press, you'll get a little peel on the edges and stuff. I don't like that. But cool. Have you had any issues with any garments that you've done? Like as far as like, for the viewers out there to say, well, might want to just press it extra longer or anything like that. I think it all boils down to the heat press settings. We have had problems with very small, intricate designs going on polyester, but if you're careful and get the heat settings right, the time on it, it just
fits perfectly.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, we end our podcast usually with a question to the person on about your passion and your purpose. We're all about trying to figure out what people are passionate about, what they feel like their purpose is, maybe in the business and life in general. So do you have a passion and a purpose that you go by, that you live by, or anything in business and life and anything?
No wrong
Service.
answer.
There's no wrong.
I
Service.
understand that. Service. That's what I was taught. That's what I am. That's what I'm trying to achieve. Help as much people as possible. And
I believe that about you.
Yeah. I think. I mean, I've seen it, and so I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being on the
We
show.
did
with
not
us.
even talk about the baklava that he gave us.
Let's talk about that real quick.
No.
You guys.
I was wrapping up, but it's
I
okay.
know.
Let's talk about the baklava.
But I really want to, because you came to our shops the other day, and
This is all right. This is a good transition. It goes into his heart,
yes,
right?
and it also speaks to what we're building in the Charlotte metro area, is this network of printers and a community of printing where we all support each other and we all really love on each other
Yep.
very well. And so we give each other business, but we also take care of each other. We're there to listen, whatever. So he comes to our shops the other day and he's like, Christy, I'm going to go to Jeremy's shop. I'm going to come to your shop. And he comes in and he's got this thing that looks like a ream of paper.
It does, because it was wrapped that way.
And
Yep.
I'm like, okay, cool. What's this?
He brought me some recycled paper.
What did we want to explain the baklava? Like, what makes your baklava so
So,
special?
firstly, I would like to apologize because it's come a long way, and I personally opened up a package, and I have ordered from this place several times.
Let me
in the
tell you, it was
past.
still.
It's fine. It's perfectly fine.
Yes, I mean I love it. If you
Yeah.
ate it on the spot, oh my God, it's even better.
Yeah.
But I still feel like I owe you guys.
No, you
No.
don't know us
Because-
anything. It was really
because,
good.
It was
So
Yeah.
the best.
there is this specific pistachio that is only harvested in one part of Turkey. It's called Gaziantep, and it's very expensive pistachio too. And those baklavas that I have brought you guys are the harvest from
Yeah,
that
this
city,
is
and-
like the creme de la creme
Yeah,
of baklava.
it was gourmet.
It was so good.
it was
And
really
I've
good.
never had baklava before.
And you said it was more of a roll than like a pistachio roll instead of
yes.
actual baklava, because I've had baklava in the paper style, the thin kind of layered.
Yep, I know. So there's like, so the one I have given you, I think, is the rolls.
Yep, the rolls.
The only pistachio roll. It has a very thin layer of dough, and then you spread the pistachio along with the sherbet and then cream,
Right.
and then you roll it and then you cut
Yeah.
it. But the dough is so thin that you cannot really tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And
so
I
good.
I think what you have, what I had brought you was the mixed one. So
Uh-huh.
you did have the, you had the traditional
Yeah.
baklava with the dough and then pistachio
That's
underneath.
really interesting that you said that, because when I opened it, and I didn't know if it was from the traveling, but there were two different
Yeah.
areas in it, and they look completely different, but they were both very tasty and great with coffee.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
so good.
Oh yeah, I did a little fear factor with my my employees, because there's just these green balls, green rolls, and they're like, I'm not touching that. You know, people from the south. You know, I'm like, it's not bad. Trust
good.
me.
Yeah.
The green is just pistachio. It's just a color. Don't worry about it. It's really good. I'm just like, see, and I pop another one in my mouth. And like after 6, because I had to take them all around my shop, I'm eating 6 of them. I'm like, all right, I'm not eating anymore because I'm freaking
You're all
full right
jacked
now.
up on sugar.
But yeah, and a lot of them ate it and were like, oh, that's really good. I'm like, see, I told you. But some other people were like, I'm not touching that. I don't eat anything like, you know,
Yeah.
sweet that's green. I'm like, well, whatever.
It was delicious,
So,
guys. Delicious. Thank you.
But
again
yeah,
for
it's
that.
very
I'm glad.
good. Thank
I'm
you.
glad you guys liked them. I was really worried that you wouldn't because of the texture, the way it was looking. I was a little sad that I received it in such a
No.
distorted.
Was great. Was great.
Well, so go ahead and tell us about your business as we close up here. Tell us how people can get in touch with you.
So our website is DTFNC, and NC stands for North Carolina.com, DTFNC.com. We do have live chat there. Sometimes I answer. Mainly after 10 p.m. But
Okay.
before that, we do have a team that answers there. If you would like to text call, we are on call 24/7.
Oh, wow.
980-384-3166.
Yeah.
Say that phone number one more time.
980-384-3166.
3166.
Yes.
Gotcha.
If you email, they answer right away.
Yeah, and they are located in Charlotte, and they ship. And it's important to know, like, that they ship pretty much everything that they do same day if they can get it done. And also, you reach a threshold, you get free shipping, right?
Yes. After $100 free shipping. Even if you free shipping gives you economy, which is basically USPS ground advantage now, or previously known as first class, but we always upgrade to UPS ground, and mostly around Charlotte. Next day delivery is what UPS ground does.
Yep.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Of course,
it was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
Thank
Manny.
you. And we'll put his information down below in the description of the podcast. And thank you guys for watching Last Call for Plastisol.
Until next time, cheers.
Cheers.